Madam Speaker, though he has already finished, the honorable member was on the floor. As a concerned Kenyan, he has just indicated that Kenya is borrowing some billions every single day. I would like him to tell me today, how did we borrow? Which bank, which institution borrowed us? Because when you are speaking here, we need to tell wananchi the truth, not just lying. You know, that's a story that can burn a country. When you hear your country is borrowing every day, I beseech you to ask him to give me evidence as a Kenyan. How much have we borrowed today? From which institution? Who signed? Where is the money? Please make this clear to us as wananchi wants to know on their behalf as a Migori member of parliament.
You've made your point. Honorable Ndindi, I'll give you 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, I don't know how to respond because it's hard to respond to such kind of an issue. Honorable Speaker, just advise the member that the data of Kenya is literally available even now in the Central Bank of Kenya. And it is difficult for me to do your job. Currently, as it is, Honorable Speaker, when this government came in, that is how it is, Honorable Member, the debt of Kenya was 8.7 trillion Kenya shillings. As we talk today, the debt of Kenya is over 12.5 trillion Kenya shillings. And therefore, we have borrowed over 3.5 trillion Kenya shillings in a span of less than 3 years. And therefore, if you divide that by the number of days, I have actually given a discount. We are borrowing more than 3.5 billion every single day, and that is unpalatable.
You have clarified. Thank you. Honorable Didi Rose, I think Honorable Fatma, everyone is entitled to their opinion. No, everybody is entitled to give their opinion. Honorable Rasa, proceed. You're next. You can speak, and you have 10 minutes because you're speaking on behalf of the chairperson of the Committee of Defense and Foreign Relations.
Committee of Administration and Internal Security. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
I'm told actually it's the Chair of Administration and Internal Security. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to welcome Honorable Kirwa back to the House, and we thank God for restoring his health, and we hope you will be back on your feet. Madam Speaker, let me thank the President for this very important address he made to the nation from the floor of this House. It is important for us to say the truth as it is. You know, Madam Speaker, leaders rise and they make their countries rise at the right time. We had Kennedy in America who said, by the end of the decade, a man must be on the moon. Then we had Mao Zedong, who removed his country, China, from a peasant economy to a thriving economy. We had Lee Kuan from Singapore, a man who raised his country from a very rudimentary country in terms of the economy to today a first world country. Madam Speaker, Clinton, when he became the president in 1990s, he said the economy is stupid, and he transformed the American economy. So when we try to compare ourselves, borrowing from what Honorable Nyoro said, of comparing ourselves to the growth of the Ugandan economy or the other East African economy, our economies are much bigger, and the growth has to be relative to what is the size. And that is why our economy cannot grow at 7, 8, 9, 10%, if really it can grow at 5% and it still meets its strategic objective. Madam Speaker, let me talk about a few things the President talked about. The first one is about national security. Today, as Kenyans, we must appreciate this government that today that the guns are silent in the arid and semi-arid lands. Of the 6 counties of North Rift, you will find that there is no fighting. In Turkana, in West Pokot, in Baringo, in Marakwet, in Samburu, in Isiolo, in Marsabit. This shows the security investment by this government by improving the governance architecture of having DCCs, ACCs, by having more police stations, having more boots on the ground. Madam Speaker, this government is on record that today we are recruiting 10,000 policemen. That has not happened before in the previous administration. It is good to say when it works and when it is positive. We cannot always be prophets of doom. Madam Speaker, on agriculture and food security, at the beginning of his leadership, the president said, we are not going to subsidize consumption, we are going to subsidize production. Today, when you go to supermarket and you find that food is relatively more affordable than at the beginning in 2022, then it means the agriculture sector is working. Furthermore, when the president says that he's going to build dams in arid and semi-arid land, in Wajir, in Mandera, in Marsabit, in Garissa, in Tana River, because 80% of Kenya is arid and semi-arid land. These are the places where we are likely to have more land and expand land for agriculture. Madam Speaker, on the issue of infrastructure, you know, the reason why infrastructure is more important is for predictability in terms of traveling. Today, if I leave Marsabit at 8 in the morning, I know by 4 I'll be in Nairobi. That is how infrastructure is so important. Today we talk about the airport in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Then here we are saying we don't want to expand our airport at Jomo Kenyatta. Just